Hey, everybody, what's up? Dr. Kramer coming back here with my wonderful patient and friend, Wendi Tips. We are here today to talk about the journey of her son, Landon, with us over at Hope Chiropractic Center. Wendi, how are you today?
I'm good.
Awesome. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Well, I'm going to get right down to business and we're going to start talking about your amazing son, Landon. And I just want to give our audience a purview of really Landon's health journey before he arrived with us back in January of this year.
Okay. Um, so Landon just turned 16 a few weeks ago. Prior to January, starting with Hope, Landon started having seizures, well, that we knew of when he was 13 months old. Hindsight looking back, he had been having seizures since he was born. Um, he's had an extensive journey throughout his whole entire life, diagnosed with a rare neurological condition called a hypothalamic hamartoma, secondary epilepsy, as well as a rare genetic disorder where he has a duplication of his 17th chromosome. Landon, at one point throughout his life, was having over 200 seizures a day. He has had 6 brain surgeries, 2 graft surgeries where they did an internal EEG. He's had a parietal lobectomy as well as a temporal lobectomy. After his temporal lobectomy, we noticed that some behaviors that Landon had been having since birth, one of them being uncontrolled laughter, had gotten worse. He was diagnosed with autism on the PDD perspective disorder. As people who don't know what that means, it's pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified, because of his epilepsy disorder. He's had a vagal nerve stimulator implanted to help reduce seizures. He's failed multiple seizure medications, which in result ended up where when he was 3 years old, he had the brain surgeries that I was talking about. First, his parietal lobectomy, along with his graft, as well as his temporal lobectomy, and that all happened within a very short 6-week time period. After his temporal lobectomy, the laughter episodes got worse, which we were told those were his autism behavioral episodes that he was having. But I knew in my heart that really was not what was going on with him. He was laughing every 5 to 10 minutes on the dot, uncontrolled, waking up in his sleep laughing. We turned to the internet and found a condition called a hypothalamic hamartoma, which in return I did my own research, found out that he had a tumor in his hypothalamus, which is the rare condition that he has. And so at that point, we flew to Phoenix along with our neurosurgeon from Cook Children's, and he had a endoscopic approach to remove the tumor from his hypothalamus, which for the first time in almost 3.5 years, he was finally seizure free for 14 months. When he was about 5, he started having seizures again, but they came back and he was having rage attacks, as well as what they call diacrostic seizures, which are crying seizures. We went back to the doctor who was then located in New York, had another surgery, but because of Landon's vagal nerve stimulator, they weren't able to do the IMRI to make sure that they removed all of the tumor. And so he has about a 3 millimeter area of tumor left, of residual left in his hypothalamus. And so needless to say, Landon has been suffering with seizures since he was 5 years old. He's on multiple seizure medications, currently taking 4 seizure anti-epileptic medications, as well as 3 behavioral medications and a 2 sleeping medications, so he can actually sleep at night. If he doesn't take the medication, he does not go to sleep. He's developmentally delayed. Again, like I said, he just turned 16, but he functions between a 3 to 5-year-old developmentally. He's in public school, and we really struggle with his behavior. Around August of, 2020, that
Last year, the death year, COVID.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that I was going to a Rosti myself, receiving some physical therapy, and heard about Hope Chiropractic and Dr. Joey. And my doctor recommended that I go there to, I was involved in a really bad car accident in 2012. Where 2012 I'm losing what year it is. In 2012, where I rolled my car 3 times, had a severe concussion, and honestly had been suffering with it for a really long time. I've also had a lot of issues with anxiety and depression. About a year ago, this past January, my depression and anxiety had gotten so bad to where I tried to take my own life because my anxiety was so bad. But when I was talking to my doctor at Rosti about this, she told me about Hope and said, I really think that this will help you with your anxiety and your depression. And she said, I really think that you're suffering from residual from your car accident. So she also recommended that I give it a shot for Landon with his epilepsy as well. And so I called Dr. Joey, introduced myself, told him about myself, and told him about Landon. And he said, I really think that I can help both of y'all. So I went, and because of Landon's developmental delay, I didn't really think that he would be able to tell me how this was changing his life. So I decided to go ahead and do it myself and see if this would really help. And Dr. Joey has changed my life. Sorry, I'm going to start crying. Has really changed my life. And I went from taking antidepressants as well as medicine for anxiety. I suffered from panic attacks. Like I said, I tried to take my life back in January of last year. Hindsight looking back, I also was having a lot of issues with my thyroid. My thyroid was completely dead. There was just so much going on. And like I said, I went to Dr. Joey. He scanned me and he was like, you are totally out of whack. And so he really thought that he could help me. And through my journey with him, he did. And I'm glad to say that I don't take anxiety medication anymore. I don't take depression medication anymore. I do not have panic attacks anymore. Every now and then I feel one creeping up. And so I go ahead and take my rescue medication just so I don't go off the deep end. But I do notice now in my journey with him that when I'm getting kind of towards the peak of my end of my month, I can kind of feel my anxiety coming back. And I come to Dr. Joey, he adjusts me, and magically I feel all better again. So anyways, with all that being said, I saw the difference in myself. So I decided to go ahead and give this a shot with Landon because we had never tried adjustments with him before. I've heard about it with epilepsy, but it had never been a journey that we had gone down. And so medication failure, surgery failure, because of the rareness of his disorder, doctors really just don't know what to do with him. And we follow so many doctors from all over follow Landon's care. And they basically just tell me he's complex. They really don't know what to do with them. And so it's a constant battle of me fighting with them, saying, what's next? And it seems like every single time here's a new medication. Let's up this medication. Let's do this. And as a parent, it's sad because it's all of this medication that I'm putting into my child. And I don't know internally what all this medication is doing to him. And so I really, really, really believe in the natural ability of healing your own body through these adjustments that Dr. Joey has been providing for both myself as well as Landon. And so that's kind of Landon's story. And I am happy to say that Landon started getting his adjustments in January. And what did we say? January 13th was Landon's last seizure. And prior to seeing Dr. Joey, Landon was having multiple seizures, sometimes a week, sometimes a month, no rhyme or reason to them. But even his teachers and the aides and the staff at Landon's school is totally blown away by the change in Landon's not only seizure pattern, but also with his behavior. His behavior has gotten a lot better, and he's doing amazing, and it blows me away. It really blows me away.
It is amazing. He is amazing.
So.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to share that, Wendi. That's huge. It's amazing. Let me ask you this, because you touched on something that's really powerful that I think more people need to hear. The journey of you and Landon both entailed a period in your life where you're not sure anything else is going to work. Right. And that's something that's probably more common than not. We like to say that we have everything together, yada, 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 but we realize we don't. So for a parent in your situation, or maybe even a parent themselves who are on that journey with the epilepsy or with seizure, or even with your uniqueness of saying antidepressant, of anti-anxiety, of panic attacks, what would be your advice you would give them about upper cervical care and how it can help them? Because so many times they say, I've already tried chiropractic and that doesn't work.
My honest opinion is, sorry, I don't think anything else would have worked for me. And like I touched before, I was at my wit's end. Again, I know a lot of it had to do with my thyroid and my hormone issues and all of that. But like you and I had talked about before in the past, I've had a rough journey my whole entire life, losing two fathers at a very young age, was in an abusive relationship, my car accident, and then living a life of a child who I struggle daily with knowing what his journey is, and the loss and the grief of having a child who will never be able to move on. You know, like I said, we just celebrated his 16th birthday, and it was very hard because here I have two best friends who have kids that are the exact same age as Landon, and their birthdays are right around the same time as Landon's birthday, and they're getting their driver's license, they're getting cars, and so having that grief every single day of the loss of the life that he could have had, it's hard. And so I guess trying to get to the answer of your question is, I've always heard everybody needs to be adjusted. Everybody needs to the adjustments, and whether it be upper cervical or lower body or whatever. Like you've explained to me in the past, it's different. It's the pathway to the brain, and having that adjusted is I've been adjusted by other chiropractors before, and like you said, it's never helped. I also have lower back issues, and I texted Dr. Joey last week and told him my back's all tweaked out. I'm hurting, and sure enough, he got me in, and I'm adjusted, and I'm feeling better again. So the answer to your question is give it a shot. You know, putting medication. I'm not saying everybody has their own beliefs in medication and stuff, but doing something that's more natural versus putting a medication into you that you don't know what it's doing to your insides, your kidneys, your liver, or whatever or whatnot. something natural that Dr. Joey can provide you it's life-changing. It's life-changing. And like I said, a year and a half ago, I was at my wit's end. I was lost. I was in a very, very, very dark place. And not that I wanted to end my life. It's just I wanted something to happen in my life. And finding Dr. Joey completely changed my life. And it's really crazy to me, because I've even shared with you that the condition that Landon has is hypothalamic hamartoma, and for short, it is hope for HH. And so finding Dr. Joey and finding hope, we refound our hope in our life. And I'm telling you, it's been an amazing journey with him. And my recommendation is to give it a shot, because I'm telling you, it will change your life.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. That is so great. It is so awesome just to hear the impact that we could really just help you along the journey. So
thank you. Appreciate it.
Sweet. Well, if you made it this far, I hope you all have a box of Kleenex and everything is going well. So take Wendy's words of advice. This will transform your life.
It will. Thank you.